Hello YouTube! So we haven't filmed a video in a really long time. In fact, it's been nearly 2 months, which is really bad. But I've been off for the past 3 months and I've just gone back to college. Literally I've just finished my 3rd day. And I've been very busy over the holidays and I just haven't had time to meet up with Heather to film a video together. But I think we're filming one together this weekend, maybe. I'm not entirely sure. Please don't hold me to that. But we will try and film a video together as soon as possible. So it is near the start of September, which is the time when everyone in the UK goes back to school or college. So I thought I would do a what's in my school bag / locker essentials video, because I just find these really interesting and helpful for people in school. So this is what my school bag looks like. I think it was just £10 from Primark. It fits everything in relatively easy. The first thing you're going to have in your bag obviously is your exercise books or your folders, your pencil case, a refill pad if you have one. I recommend the Campus refill pad, the Oxford notebooks. They're a bit more expensive, but they're absolutely lovely to write on and gorgeous. I have a light blue one, and I have a purple one, and I think I have a dark blue one as well. So the next thing I would remember is just a notebook. It doesn't really matter what size or anything. That's my timetable. But I just have this one. It's an A4 red one. This was a birthday present from a really good friend of mine. And it's just red leather, and it says on the front, "Be yourself, everyone else is already taken," which is a quote from Oscar Wilde, who is an author. Well, he's a playwright, kind of. Which I think is really sweet. Obviously you're going to have your homework diary. This one's mine. Your pencil case, anything like that. I've just got my phone in here as well, because my sixth form blazer pockets are about that deep, which don't hold my phone, so it's in my bag. Now on to the kind of essential videos. I think probably one of the most important things to carry around in your school bag is a water bottle. It doesn't even have to have water in it. This is just Robinson's orange and mango juice. But I think it's really important to keep yourself hydrated entirely throughout the day, especially if you have PE or gym or anything like that, because it will not only help you to feel better, because being hydrated is not a nice feeling, but it will make your skin look a lot more fresh if you're drinking plenty of fluids and water. The next thing to have in your bag, which is quite important, is a reading book. Mine at the moment is Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. I actually have my own copy of this, but I forgot to take it into school and I had a lot of frees that day, so I just borrowed this one from my school library. It can be any reading book, just because if you find yourself with a free or a lunch break and you've got nothing to do, you've got no work you could be doing, it's just a great thing you can just to keep with you. Now kind of more onto the locker essentials side of it. Now when you go into high school, which in the UK is when you turn 11, your skin can kind of mismatch a bit. You'll either get that perfect baby skin, or your hormones will go wacky and you can get lots of redness and blemishes. In which case I would suggest a concealer or a BB cream. But I think when you're kind of 11, it's not really necessary to wear it, because you kind of tend to still have that more baby skin. But I know especially when I was around 14 and 15, it just gave me a much more confidence just to have a little bit of a BB cream. I don't really wear foundation at any point, whether I'm in school or not, because I just don't like it. It just feels really heavy on my skin. But if that's the case, you definitely need to set it with a powder, and I would recommend keeping this with you throughout the day. I have massively hit pan on this. This is just the Rimmel Stay Matte powder in 001 transparent, and I just have this little brush that was really cheap that is really easy just to fit in my bag. I also have a Collection Lasting Perfection concealer in here, just to if I need to touch up throughout the day. It's just really good to keep with you if you have gym or something that day and you have like concealer or something on, and you just want to kind of freshen your face up a bit. If you kind of have that perfect baby skin still. Don't waste your time on foundation and concealer or your money. Just don't bother. And if you have PE that day and you're not wearing any makeup, just take a little packet of travel wipes with you. These are the Carex Complete ones, just the original ones. You can get them in strawberry, but I'm allergic to strawberry, so I just have the original. You get 15 in this packet, and it's just better than carrying around a big chunky one. And you can just run it over your face after PE, or if it gets really hot in the summer, which doesn't really happen that much in the UK, but my school has a habit of turning all the heating on the days when it's really hot. So you can get a bit sweaty. It does happen to females and males, so, but you can just run it on your face and make yourself feel instantly refreshed. Now the next one isn't necessarily an essential, but it's just a little bottle of dry shampoo. I hate dry shampoo because I have a really dry scalp, so I find it kind of clings to it. But if you like to use dry shampoo, you can just spray this into your hair and make yourself feel a lot more fresh and kind of revived. Next important thing to carry around in your bag is just a lip balm. This is just the EOS one in pomegranate raspberry. It looks like this. It's really important to carry a lip balm around with you because it's essential to keep your lips hydrated no matter what time of year it is. Just carry one around with you. It can be any one, doesn't have to be this one, but it's just the one I really like. I really like EOS lip balms. The next important thing to carry around with you is a deodorant. This is a roll-on one because we're not allowed sprays in our school, but obviously if you're allowed them and you prefer to use a spray, sure. And this is just the Sanex Dermosensitive one. It's a really good one. Just under your arms, if it's, like I said, you get a bit sweaty during the day, or if you have PE, instant refresh basically. Very important thing to carry around, and I dropped it, is just a hairbrush. This is a mini one. I got this from Primark for about £1. It's just good to kind of brush through your hair throughout the day. Now it's gone puffy. But obviously if you don't want to do this, you don't have to, but it's just something I like to carry around with me in my bag. I think this is probably one of the most important things to carry around with you in your bag, is just a bottle of hand sanitizer. I actually can't find mine at the moment. I think it's actually in my locker in school, but I go to an all-girls school and the amount of grossness there genuinely surprises me. Now I wouldn't recommend using it more than twice a day because it will stop being as ineffective and it will really dry out your hands. So just use it as infrequently as possible, and do remember that you can go to the bathroom and wash your hands, but if it's just like in a lesson or something and you like touch something really kind of gross, like one time I sat down at a desk in my English classroom and the table was ominously sticky. That was one of those times that I was so glad I had my hand sanitizer with me. It just made me feel much more clean and fresh. The last thing, which is probably also one of the most important things, is just a packet of Polos or Tic Tacs or Mentos. I wouldn't recommend carry around chewing gum because I know most schools don't allow it. My school doesn't allow to have you chew gum. I don't like chewing gum because after a couple of minutes it loses its flavour and leaves a really stale taste in your mouth, which kind of defeats the object of chewing gum in the first place. And also if you find yourself in a lesson you're just like, oops, I forgot to throw my chewing gum away. You're kind of stuck with it then for however long your lesson is. But if it's a mint, and it makes you much more likely to get caught by the teacher and get into trouble, and it will leave that really stale taste in your mouth. But if it's a mint, you can kind of subtly suck on it under your tongue for a while, and then it will be gone, and it will leave your breath nice and fresh. I almost said you're fresh, nice and breath, but I corrected myself. Another thing, actually that wasn't the last thing, there's one more thing, is just a body spray. We're not meant to use aerosols in our school, but you can just go and then that's it. It can just make you feel a lot more fresh after gym and smell nice, or PE or whatever you do, or if it's a hot day and you're a bit sweaty. Don't know why I'm doing that with my finger, but this is just the Impulse Very Pink Roses and Grapefruit one. I don't use this very often because I prefer to use a perfume, because I have a bad chest and I find that perfumes don't really set my chest off as much, but whatever you prefer, you can use. So that was just the essentials that I like to carry around in my school bag and my locker. I think they're quite important to have in school, but obviously if you don't, that's fine. But they're just some of the things that I carry around, or I like to carry around with me. I hope this really helps some people who are in school or college or university or anything like that. So give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. On the mention of subscribers, we've just hit 200 subscribers, which is really, really cool. Heather and I didn't really expect this to go very far, but 200 people is quite a lot of people. It's double the amount of people in my year, which really seems like a lot, especially when you're waiting for them all to come out of a classroom before you can go in. But it is 200 people is a lot of people. It's not a huge amount, but we're grateful just for any subscribers at all. So we just want to say a massive thank you to anyone who has subscribed or is about to subscribe. I just want to thank you for your continuous support. So yeah, bye YouTube!